Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I completely apologize for not uploading regularly. During quarantine I do have a full house, so it kind of makes it hard for me to be uploading. And then every time I try to upload a video, like something happens. Like I was trying to record a video in my car, and then all of a sudden, like, you could hear the neighbors and everything, and I just couldn't record a video. And then right now I was finally like, okay, I'm ready, I have enough time, I did my makeup, I'm about to record a video. And I couldn't find the little click thing to put my camera onto my ring light. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll just hold my camera. And now my battery is dying on my camera, so I have to go charge it. So I was like, you know what, I need to get this video out. So I'm doing it on my cell phone, and I'm just gonna read off these stories on my computer. So hopefully the lighting is okay. And if you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. If you've been here, thank goodness that you have waited this long. But today I'm gonna go ahead and read Ouija board games gone wrong. I know the elevator game video and the elevator game stories kind of went really good. So honestly, even though I'm completely against playing the Ouija game, sorry, I don't even know where to look. Even though I'm completely against playing the Ouija board, I know people are gonna do what they're gonna do. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read some stories of some people that don't listen and play the game even though you're not supposed to, because there's always something bad happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off some stories. So I am holding my phone because I'm gonna be holding my phone because I broke the clip to my ring light, so I know it's gonna be a little bit off. And my dog wants to go outside and play, so if you hear her in the background, that's why. She wants to go outside and play, but not right now. But anyway, so I did find these on Reddit. They are a few years old, so hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so the first story, this isn't your ordinary Ouija board gone wrong story. I'm telling you right now that this isn't clickbait. I was having a sleepover with my best friend. You know, we were doing stupid shit, doing what teenagers do at sleepovers. I read somewhere that making Ouija board is more dangerous than actually buying one. I didn't have one at the time, so I made one. I don't think anything... Teddy bear! I don't think anything of it because, you know, I thought it was a game anyway. I never really believed in that kind of stuff. We started out originally trying to contact her grandmother. We had bracelets of hers. I always read that if you have an item of somebody, you're more likely to contact them. Everything started off normal, like every Ouija board session does. Something told us that this was actually her grandmother. She answered questions correctly that no one else will know the answers to. I saw the look in my friend's eyes. She knew she was here too. However, then the mood has changed. Instead of getting a feeling like we belong, we suddenly got a draft. Something that felt sinister, something evil. I don't remember much between that. As far as I knew, we had been playing for about 10 minutes. I looked at the clock and we had been playing for 3 hours. We said goodbye, and that's why we thought it was the end. But it wasn't. Everything was fine for about a month. Nothing weird happened, nothing out of the ordinary. Little by little, weird things started to happen. The usual things, moving things that you misplaced. That's all that really happened for a while. My friend had it at her house. Fast forward almost half a year, we had a little sleepover at my house. We played with the Ouija board again. From there, I think we made it worse this time. I don't know what we summoned, but whatever it was darker and more evil than the last. It's going on a year. After that happened, nothing much just happened since but I'll keep you updated if anything does. Number 2, this story is going to make me sound crazy, but here it goes. Before this incident, I had never used a Ouija board in my life. Growing up, I had an aunt who would dabble with Ouija boards and the paranormal, and my mother always advised me to never touch one. One day, my partner decided it would be fun to buy a Ouija board and use it with a few friends. I wouldn't say we were complete skeptics, but I don't think any of us were really expecting anything wild to happen. We went on the internet and looked up how to safely use one and plan out what kind of questions we should ask. So we run to Toys R Us and pick up a Hasbro Ouija board, which I had talked in another video about this, about Target, I believe, that was selling Ouija boards, and I'm completely against all that. We really didn't want to use it at our house, so we gathered up a couple of friends and I drove to a state park a few towns over. We start to head up the hike trail and find a good spot to lay down the board. We begin going through the motions of asking if there was a spirit who would like to communicate, etc., etc. The planchette moved with ease. It's a strange, powerful feeling when it glides across the board. The planchette it came with was a thick hunk of plastic, and there was a quick bit of fraction when trying to intentionally move it on the board. And there was quite a bit of fraction when trying to intentionally move it on the board. We were a bit stunned that the damn thing was working. We asked the spirit if it was a good spirit. Of course, the planchette moved over to no. We then asked if it wanted to harm us. Planchette moved over to yes. My partner asked how it would go about doing this. The board began to spell out ENGINE, engine. We see a group of hikers coming up in our general direction, and we carelessly put the board away without properly saying goodbye. We hiked back down to another secluded area and decided to try again. This time, we come into contact with a spirit who claims to be a 6-year-old boy who died sometime in the 1800s. Seemed nice at first until he told our friend he wanted him to die so that he would have someone to play with. And I know you hear my baby, but honestly, the only reason she wants to go play is because there's kids outside, so she wants to go run around and bark at them. So just, I'm gonna take you out. Okay, so I just let my dog outside because she's crying a little too loud, and you guys will probably not be able to hear the story because she's crying so much. So I went ahead and let her play outside. Okay, anyway, sorry, back to the story. We decided to ask the board questions only we would know the answers to. Each person asking the question took their hands off the planchette to be certain. The board got every damn question correct, and that's when I started to feel a bit uneasy. I honestly couldn't believe it. The board then proceeded to spell out my name. Throw away 636353. I was confused as to what that meant. Soon after, it began to rain, so we told the board that we had to go and asked to help us bring the planchette down to goodbye. It complied. We began walking back to the car when I noticed this woman sitting in an SUV next to mine, watching us. Her gaze never really left, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. We all get in the car, and I go in to start it, and the engine doesn't turn over. It was almost as if the battery was dead, but my accessory still worked. I begin to shit bricks. I hadn't had my car for very long, and it never gave me trouble. It seemed like way too big of a coincidence. I look over at the woman and put my window down and ask her if she had jumper cables. She reaches behind her and pulled them out, as if she had them ready. We get out of the car and hook them up. Then my partner's friend's phone rings from a number he doesn't recognize. He picks it up and it was someone just asking if we were okay. He chalked it up to the fact that a drug dealer previously had the number, so he got a lot of unknown calls. Weird. We start chatting with this woman and thank her for letting us use the jumper cables. Turns out she has the same name as me, which the board had previously spelled out. Perhaps wrong? Perhaps a warning? She tells us that she works as an ultrasound technician at a local hospital and has cancer and young children. We ask her what she was doing in the parking lot, to which she explained she was waiting for her weed dealer. Medical marijuana is legal in my state, so I was a bit perplexed, but I didn't think anything of it. I was just grateful she was helping us. I go and try and start the car and it still doesn't work. It just kind of rolls for a few feet in the parking lot before shutting off. At this point, it's getting dark and I begin to come to terms with the fact that I'll have to call a tow truck. Our friends ended up getting picked up and my partner stayed with me as we waited for the tow truck to arrive. We told the woman she could leave since she was still weirdly waiting with us. She offered for us to sit in her car while we wait because it was raining again. I asked her if she could pop the trunk so I could sit on the ledge, but she told me the trunk didn't open. Wait, what? Oh, the trunk. I don't know why I was thinking about the hood. So stupidly, I get in the car with my partner. The weird woman made a joke about disabling her child safety locks in the back, so I won't think she's trying to keep us here. That's so weird to say. That rubbed me the wrong way. She starts telling me that maybe I should just leave my car there and offer to give us a ride home. I politely declined. Then she tells me that she has a friend whose husband works for VW and he could surely fix my car for a good price. She calls up her friend, and because we were in the car, it was quite enough that my partner and I could faintly hear the other line. She explains the car problem and asks how much it would be to fix it. We hear on the other line the person ask if I'm a boy or a girl. The woman says a girl, and the man on the line simply said, "Good." Nope. We get out of the car and tell her the tow truck should be there soon and thanks for her help. We gave her the Ouija board and told her she could keep it because we didn't want it anymore. I still wonder what she did with it. Wait a minute, you just gave this woman a Ouija board? She was a stranger and you just gave her the Ouija board? That's weird. She kept trying to give me her phone number and kept saying she would come with us to get my car fixed with her friend. Eventually, she fucked off. We ended up getting back home late. I told the AAA guy how we were fucking around with the Ouija board and met the weird lady afterwards. He said he wouldn't have picked us up if he had known that. The next day, my partner opened his text that he sent out when we were waiting for the tow. In a conversation with his mother, the text box had "Yes, Satan, yes" written out. The message wasn't sent, but he sure as hell didn't write that. Ugh, that just gave me a cold chill. The next day, I called the hospital to see if that woman even worked there. Like she had claimed. Nope. They transferred me to 2 different floors and there was no ultrasound technician working there by that name. To this day, I still don't know how to explain what happened that night, and I'm sure as hell never using a Ouija board again. Also, the dealer the woman claimed to be waiting for never showed up. So what was she doing that night? What were her intentions? We'll never know. So this is the last story. I had copy and pasted all the stories on my I had copied and pasted all my stories on a notepad, and since they're all together, I don't know why I thought they were all from the same person, but they're all different people. So yeah. Number 3, prepare yourself for a shitty read. Sorry this is so long, guys. Freshman year of high school, one of my closest friends was murdered, so about 3 of my friends and I attempted to contact our deceased friend. Sometimes all of us would play or someone would take notes. My best friend and I often played by ourselves because we trusted each other more than a group of people. We played for almost a year, and it was almost daily. And then they did bullet points of things that happened to them. I got a really bad nosebleed when someone took their hands off the planchette without all of us saying goodbye. I didn't remember it until my best friend brought it up. One of our friends felt insane pressure on her shoulders, like someone was trying to force her down. My handwriting changed while I was taking notes of the conversation, and my friends thought I was in a trance because I was pretty unresponsive. Also, I don't remember. My friend kept thinking her hair was being touched, and I had to stop playing because it freaked her out. Seriously, I've had that happen. Like, I don't know if it's my own mind, but I feel like I have felt times where like somebody has like is touching like right here or like the back of my hair, and like I'll go like this, and then like I don't know if I'm thinking it's like, sometimes I'm thinking it's like a bug or I don't know, but now that I'm reading this, I'm feeling like, oh my god, like maybe it was somebody touching my hair. Our guy friend's voice sounded really odd and strange during one of the sessions, but my best friend and I always assumed he was possibly faking. We stopped playing with him. The flames on our candles always seemed to go kind of crazy when we'd play the Ouija board. We had some go out on us before. My best friend and I saw black hair. Our deceased friend had black hair float quickly past the mirror in her bedroom. While we were having a conversation with our friend, it suddenly changed pace and it became insanely creepy, so we ended the session. Sometimes my friend and I would be home alone and hear a loud pound against the wall or a window. I played by myself once and scared the shit out of myself because I was supposedly talking to Lucifer. Wait, what? Oh, I played by myself. They were playing by themselves. I got lost in that one. One of the girls we played the Ouija board with died of a heart attack senior year of high school. She was in pretty bad health and was extremely morbidly obese, but it was still odd to us that it happened. I mean, that one's like not too, because if she was obese, like she probably already had health problems, so that's probably why she had the heart attack. So I wouldn't count that one as like something happening because they were playing the Ouija board. Whatever we talked to knew most of our names, our friends from school names, our deceased friend's boyfriend who didn't go to our school, and family, and a lot of stuff that seemed to connect a lot of dots to our friend's deaths. The planchette moved off the board quite often and onto the floor. We tried pushing it back towards the middle of the board, but it would move off the board again. Sometimes, instead of spelling out our names, it would go to the edge of the board and just point to whichever person it was speaking to, which wasn't often. The speed of the planchette would sometimes be so fast that we would have a hard time keeping up, which is why someone would take notes. That is so weird, because I swear like a lot of the videos or stories that I hear from the Ouija board or from people playing the Ouija board always talk about the fact that it moves so slow because it needs spirit energy to move the planchette. So for it to have moved like too fast, I'm assuming was probably a bad, like really bad spirit or something else, which I don't even want to say out loud. We have had other strange moments, but they were tiny and I can't remember some of the details. As stupid as this stuff might sound, it was pretty spooky when I was in high school, especially after the death of a friend. It felt extremely real to us. That time period to me seems unreal and very foggy. I know Ouija boards are just a toy and most of the time are controlled by our own mind's body without realizing it. But it really makes me wonder. My best friend and I still talk about it to this day, and both promised each other that we didn't purposely move the planchette. I haven't touched the Ouija board since high school, and I'm 25 now. I have had some other unexplainable things happen to me in my life that makes me really question things. Okay, so I don't want to really make this video too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the last one. This is the last story. No one will probably believe this, but I'm not lying, and I have a pic of the Ouija board me and my mom played with. So we got the board out. The planchette was made of plastic and not wood. It still happened anyways. We turned off the lights and shut the door except for the TV. I asked Mom to turn the TV off, but she didn't want to stay in the complete dark, so the TV stayed on. Which is, if I did this, it would probably be me. I hate the dark. I will never sleep in the dark. I always have my TV on, so that would probably be me. We set it up, and I have my mom sit on the other side of the board while I stay in front of it. I put my hands on the planchette, and Mom does the same. We begin to make the planchette spin on the board, and I ask it a question. Is there anyone here? A few seconds later, the planchette moves to the letter T. I'm terrified at this moment, and I feel as if someone is in the same room as me. I asked Mom if she was moving it, and she swore she wasn't moving it. So then we wait for a while. I try to ask it its name, but it just stays on the letter T. Then it ever so slowly moves to the letter V. TV. The TV was on, and after that, the TV kept going black and then back on for a bit. After that, we try to ask more questions, but it doesn't want to answer. We said goodbye and put the board up. After my mom didn't seem shaken up or anything. She didn't want to burn the board or anything, which is taboo or whatever. I'm beginning to think that my mom is possessed, which is stupid, but she isn't acting the same. I don't know what's wrong with her, which is why I'm playing the board tomorrow night with my grandpa to see if I can get the name of the spirit. And there's no update on that one, so I wonder if like something happened to her mom or a spirit or something like attached to his or her mom. I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy, but anyway. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video. Comment any stories that you have on the Ouija board if you've played it or if you know someone that has played it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.